Asher, you've been elected.
Everybody take the rest of the day off.
Bill's retired.
That's the only comment on legal matters.
Coach, how do you feel? Back full-time with this team? Just going again? I mean, just how you're feeling kind of back into this season?
Worried about winning games already, building a team. Obviously, I had a lot of time to reflect on that season. Spent a lot of time watching film, just getting ready for this year. But so obviously for me, it's a little bit different. My perspective is definitely more appreciative of the opportunity to coach. Just everything in life you don't take for granted. When you go through a health issue, the way you probably did. So, although it's 6 months in my life is like 6 years, so it's hard for me to remember. Definitely a special day for me.
Physically, you feel good and everything cool?
Bill Cook asked me that, and I challenged him to a fitness test. I'll just tease him, Bob. I'm great, but like I said, we're all day to day. We're all day to day, and that's how I try to approach it now. I don't think about it. My health other than trying to make sure that I keep my weight down so I can get into my suit and I don't have to buy new ones.
But being on the outside looking in, did it benefit you, think, in a way to be able to see something and change anything about what you do?
Possibly. I think it maybe benefited my staff. I think Larry, Darren, and Antoine, sometimes the head coach is a crutch for you. And you're more talented as a coach than you really give yourself credit for. And they were able to exercise that. And those guys are really good coaches. And I think they were able to maybe do more. Obviously, they had to do more than they had ever done before. And I want them to continue that. Because I think it's just going to make us all better at the end of the day.
After the Kentucky game last year, you hoped that would carry over somehow, but you also talked about how it wouldn't mean anything if you didn't do the work in the summer. How was it?
Whenever you have great seniors, it makes your job so much easier. So all 4 of our seniors have made great strides. Corey is in the best shape of his life. Same with Octavius, Shaq, and Farad. For 3 of those guys, we only had them for a year. So it would stand to reason every player makes his biggest jump in his second year in your program. And then with Shaq, I think he's come to a realization that he's going to be effective 10 feet in, and he needed to get stronger to do that. He needs to get the ball 10 feet in more. He needs to finish 10 feet in more. And he needs to be stronger. He's finally really had an epiphany about it. He needed to get a lot stronger physically. He committed himself to that. But all those guys have great attitudes. So one thing about this team, they have a great character. And if they didn't as individuals, we would have fallen apart last year. You talk about coaches, and coaches did this, and you build your culture and give myself credit or Larry credit. The kids decide your fate. The players decide your fate. We got great character on this team. So the offseason was really smooth for us and productive. But still got a lot of work to do. So,
Building some high expectations, you have almost everybody back. In the past, how has that worked out for you? You've had teams that weren't not experienced, some that were very experienced. How do you think this team will manage the expectations?
Well, first of all, I think just everybody back's not always a positive. Sometimes there's addition by subtraction, but that's not the case with this group. And historically here, for the last 25 years, older has meant better because it's been a program where guys have gotten better for a long time around Cincinnati basketball. We pride ourselves in that, so we should be much better because we are older, and that just stands to reason. But that's the history states that should happen. But expectations, we don't get caught up in saying what we're going to do or how good we should be. Somebody get in big trouble on my team if I read them talking about how great we're going to be. We don't believe in that. You're only going to be as good as you play. And we all got practice. We all got scholarships. And all we're worried about is trying to have a great practice every day. I leave that stuff to the media, and I really work hard with our players on we worry here about what we can control. We preach that every day, and we really preach hard. You have to nowadays with you cannot pay attention to anything outside our locker room or our gym. And we define expectations for ourselves. And that's just to give your best effort every day. And the rest will take care of itself. So I beat on these guys with that. Really, we pounded in hard because this day and age, there's so much out there on the media, social media, every day. You get caught up in it. So 15 years ago, you didn't talk about it that much, but now you got to talk about it all the time.
With a largely veteran group here, are you able to pound away in this time of year more so in one phase because they've already got some of the stuff thrown at them in the past?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. When you have an older team and they've been taught certain things, it allows you to do more, be more advanced with what you're doing. And in our case, you asked a question about me being out. Obviously, we've won 42 straight games where we scored 60 or more points, which is a fascinating statistic. This particular group has never lost when they've scored 60 or more points. So we stand to reason that we've analyzed our offense in every angle for the last 6 months and done everything and as a staff to try to get our players to how do we individually and collectively become a better offensive team. And obviously we're not going to forget to play defense and rebound and play hard as long as we got Cincinnati on our chest. But that's an area where we've got to improve, and we should be able to improve because we're older, we're better, but we know we need to improve in that area. So that's been a big focus in our offseason.
How different is this team because you have the ability to throw the ball inside and truly play inside out with the three guys you've got?
Well, I think we could do that last year. Our problem last year was we were very inconsistent in our production on the perimeter. And there was way too many goose eggs on the perimeter. And you're not going to get plus 60 if guys are playing 20 minutes, getting 2 points, no points, 3 points. We got to get more consistent production from a lot of guys on the perimeter. And we got to put them in position to do it and coach them. So we use the term "we" because we always look at what we got to do as coaches to have to help them be more. I think that's the key for us. Our inside play is pretty strong, and and that's saying they were all first-year players last year. So it stands to reason that's not going to be our issue this year. We got to get consistent production from the perimeter and from the wings, and get Troy some help with Justin Jennifer with the ball handling is going to help a lot, I think, because he didn't have a lot of help last year. It wore him down. Did you have one?
I did.
You got it.
I interrupted. I apologize.
Same question. Great minds.
How much does it help having in the summer now the time that you do to where you're not catching freshmen up now and you've had 2 or 3 months to help get them where they need to be?
Yeah, I think it's good and bad, the summer stuff, because the freshmen get a false sense of how hard you play. They think it's easy. You're working out in the summer 2 hours a week. You're having 30-minute workouts. They don't understand what they're about to get hit with. But in our case, I think it was good that once we started in the spring, the guys got used to me being out here again. Get used to my voice again and my pleasant demeanor and my jovial attitude during practice, how much fun we try to have every day. So that's been good because people may say, well, this is his first practice since last December. That's not the case. I was back out here running stuff in April, so I think in that case it definitely helped the guys get readjusted a little bit.
Got it. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
No problem.